I'm going to be remaking Minecraft mobs into Steal A Brainrot. The first mob I'll make is Odin Din Din Dun, and I'm going to use a creaking to make him. First, let's get rid of a few things. Next, I'm going to make his body bigger. Now let's make it round because he's an orange. And I'm going to give him some feet. Now let's change the shape of his arms. And I'll give him a hand on the bottom. Next, I'm going to add the leaf thing on the top of his head, and I think he's looking pretty good. It's time to add color. First, I'm going to color the entire orange. Next, we'll make his arms and legs a bit darker. Now I'm going to color this top part green. Next, let's color in his nose, and I'll give him a mouth. Now let's add his eyes, and we'll color in his shoes. Finally, let's add a bit of detail, and I think this is looking good. Let's see how he looks in game. Here we have an Odin Din Dun in game. The way he walks is so tough. Definitely makes me want to buy him. Why is he jittering like this? Okay, I take it back. Maybe his walk isn't that good. Anyways, that doesn't take away from the fact that he looks really good in game. I mean, this might be one of my best brainrots yet. So let's steal this guy. I don't know where all my brainrots went from last time. It appears somebody stole them. This is Odin Din Dun in the real game. As you can see, he does a ton of damage and knockback because he's super buff. He also has so much health that you would probably never be able to win a fight against him. But that's okay because he is friendly as long as you don't attack him. And he will even pick you up and take you anywhere as long as you remain friendly. I wonder how this seating works. I think this position is a little bit strange. If Odin Din Dun somehow manages to die, he drops a definitely real orange. But don't try killing him with anvils though, because he is immune to anvil damage for some reason. Just seems like something that he'd be able to do. And overall, I think that Odin Din Din Dun turned out really good. So because of this, I am going to give him a 10 out of 10. Next, I will make Pot Hotspot. And I am going to use a skeleton for this one. First, I'm going to rotate his arms. Next, I'm going to give him some feet. And I'll make his head into the shape of a phone. Next, I'll turn his head down a bit. Now let's turn this part into the phone he's holding. And I think that's pretty good. Let's add some color. First, I'll color in the back and sides of the phone. And let's add his screen like this. Now I'm going to color in the rest of his head. And we'll give him a face. And we'll add a bit more details to the face like this. Now let's change the color of the skeleton. And I think this looks pretty good. Let's see how he looks in game. This is how Pot Hotspot looks in game. As you can see, he turned out pretty good. I will say his face looks a little bit scary though. But he is a skeleton, so that's fine. Skeletons are supposed to be scary. The animation that he has for walking also looks a little bit sus. But that's fine, we'll still steal him anyway. And now we can go see Pot Hotspot in the actual game. This is how he looks inside of real Minecraft. Still sus. If you catch Pot Hotspot looking down at his phone, you are able to kill him in one hit. This is because he's not paying attention. Don't look at your phone while fighting. He's also immune to fire damage while looking at his phone. I don't know why. That's not a real thing. If you kill Pot Hotspot, he drops his phone. And if you try to use his phone, it has advanced security. It's definitely not just an end crystal. That's the security features. Anyways, Pot Hotspot looks really good. There's just a few things wrong with his face. So because of this, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. Next, I'm going to make Nubini Pizzanini. And I'm going to use a zombie to make him. First, I'm going to shrink down his head. Next, I'm going to make the pizza on top of his head. Now let's make him the size of a Roblox character. And I'll just change the size of the pizza bit too. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's time to color him in. First, we'll color his head and arms yellow. Now let's color his shirt in light blue. Next, I'm going to make his pants light green. Now let's color in the crust of his pizza. And we'll add some cheese on the top like this. Now let's add some pepperonis. Next, I'm going to give him a face. And finally, let's add some details to his shirt. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. It's time to see what he looks like in game. This is Nubini Pizzanini in the game. I don't know why, but he looks a little boring. To be fair, I don't know what I expected. He's basically just a Roblox noob. He does have this pizza on top of his head though. Unfortunately, right-clicking him does not let you eat it. Anyways, it's time to buy a Nubini. I hope we have enough money. Nubini can be kind of expensive. And this is what Nubini looks like in the actual game. As you can see, he looks exactly the same. What isn't the same though is that he is completely invincible to damage. This is to protect noobs. I am still allowed to kill Nubini though. The protection doesn't apply to me. And when I kill Nubini, he drops a pizza. A pizza made of pumpkins. Definitely not a pumpkin pie. Honestly, Nubini looks pretty boring in the game, and he doesn't have that many features. So because of this, I am going to give him a 6 out of 10. Next, we will make Karker, and I'm going to use a horse for this one. First, I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. Next, let's shape his body into the seat, and we'll add a back part like this. Next, I'm going to make his legs into the shape of chair legs, and I'll add some feet to the front ones. Now let's turn this piece into an arm, and we'll put some fingers here as well. Now let's copy this over to the other side, and I'm going to turn this part into his mouth. Next, Next, we'll use this to give him a nose, and these parts are going to be his eyes. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. It's time to add color. First, let's color his entire body light green, and I'm going to color his lips a bit darker. Next, I'll color in his eyes, and I'm going to add a bit of detail like this. Alright, I think this is looking pretty good. It's time to add him to the game. Here is the chair in the game. I'm not going to bother trying to pronounce his actual name. As you can see, he has a different walking animation than the other brainrots. He has to wobble back and forth when he walks because he's a chair. His back legs definitely should be moving though. I don't know what's wrong with that. Anyways, let's just steal a chair, man. And this is what he looks like in the real game. If you right click on him, you are able to sit down on the chair. But you cannot control where you are going because that's not how chairs work. The chair picks your destination. He also is unable to drown for whatever reason. I feel like if you threw a chair into a lake, it probably wouldn't drown. So this one makes sense. If you kill the chairman, he gives you a wooden plank. This is because chairs can be made of wood. I don't think that this guy is made of wood, but I couldn't really think of a better block to make him drop. So he drops wood. And overall, I think the chairman turned out pretty good, but he's not the best brainrot I've made. So because of this, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Next, I am going to make Las Tralaleritas, and we will use an axolotl to make them. First, let's get rid of the whole axolotl because we don't need it, and we will just use this Los Tralaleritos to make them instead. Let's replace all the blue parts with this pink color, and we'll do the same on the shoes, but make it a bit darker. Now let's color in the rest of their bodies bright white, and I'm going to make their lips lighter as well. Next, let's turn this into the bows that they have on their heads, and we'll color this light pink. And let's copy this over so each of them have one. Alright, I think that we are done. It's time to see what they look like in game. This is how they look in the game. As you can see, they look very similar to Los Tralaleritos from last video. But that's a good thing because they are supposed to look similar. The one on the left is missing eyebrows though. I don't know how that happened. Anyways, let's buy a Tralaleritas. And now we have a full row of brainrots in our base, so I think it's time to rebirth. This is how Los Tralaleritas looks in the real game. For some reason, they are very small. If you want to kill them, you will get a bucket of axolotl for the kill. Just think of it as one of them in the bucket instead of an axolotl. And if they end up swimming in water, I made sure to make it so that they can't drown, because they look like they would be able to live underwater. Overall, I don't think Los Tralaleritas is the best looking mob, so because of this, I decided to give them a 7 out of 10. Next, I'm going to make and I'm going to use a cat to make him. First, let's move the body up a bit. Next, I'm going to turn this tail into a fish tail. Now let's add a fin on top, and I'm going to put some fins on the side as well. Now let's give it some feet, and we'll add a chin underneath the cat head like this. Now I think this looks good. Let's give it some color. Let's color the sides of the fish like this, and I'm going to color these fins in red. Now let's change the color of the cat's head, and I'm going to color in the legs this color. Now let's add some fish scales like this, and I'm going to add some detail to his face. Now let's color in underneath, and I think this is looking good. Let's add him to the game. This is how the mob whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce looks in game. This has got to be one of the stranger looking mobs for sure. It's part fish, part human, and part cat. And part broken, as you can see with the fins. They're kind of glitchy. If you didn't know, this fish cat is supposed to be the fastest brainrot animal, so I added that. There is nothing faster than this in the game. I don't even know what's going on. The fish cat is also supposed to attack dolphins. It's so fast that it can't even attack them properly though. Like that one just no clipped out of reality. And this one's doing something. And if you can kill a fish cat, it drops a fish. It's either that or I make it drop a cat. I'm not gonna lie, this mob looks strange and is kind of broken, but I'm still gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Honestly, I don't know why. It just feels like it deserves a high rating.